Okay, so for this next video lectures, we will be discussing about the management of receipts and disbursements. But I mean, this time we will be focusing more on the receipts. We will have a separate video lecture for the disbursement management. Okay, management of receipts. So cash receipts management is the most, or in this case, cash, okay, is the most liquid of all assets. We all know that. So a business cannot survive and prosper if it does not have adequate control over its cash. Because basically, most of the time, in the day-to-day basis, okay, of their daily operations, cash is a requirement. Okay, it will finance the operations. It will purchase the necessary level of inventories. It will pay our um, liabilities and so on. So cash is the asset that has the greatest chance of going missing because it is normally on hand. And this is why the enterprise should ensure that they have the strong internal controls built around the cash processes to avoid such losses. So since many business transactions involve cash, it is a vital factor in the operations of the business. So as mentioned also, okay, that's why they have to keep track of monitoring and controlling their cash. So all of the company's assets, cash is the most easily mishandled every time, actually, either through theft or carelessness. So therefore, to control and manage the cash, a company should do the following. So number one, this things can be included in their internal control process for the management of their cash receipts. So first is they should account all of their cash transactions accurately so that the correct information is available regarding the cash flows and balances. We have to record it correctly in terms of its amount, okay, the source, and the like. So second is to make certain that enough cash is available to pay for the bills as they come due. So this is part of the controlling process in which they should manage it in a way that there should be a policy of the level of cash, petty cash, or other items, okay, that they refer to um, in terms of paying their bills. Okay, the next is the avoid holding too much idle cash. Okay, because if there are excessive cash, this could be invested to generate income in or such as the interest from the investment. Okay, so it is ideal to have enough cash balance but not too excessive. When you say idle cash, I mean to say it's there for a longer period of time and it's huge amount and there is nothing that the entity at the moment they will um, use that cash for. So instead of having it idle, so they can invest it and earn interest. Okay. Another is prevent loss of cash due to theft or fraud. So this is again by having a strict internal control of receipts, cash receipts, and cash disbursements. So it should account all of the sources and uses of the cash, and it should be valid and with documentation. Okay, so the next is the need to control cash is clearly evident and has many aspects. Okay, so it has considerations also, just like what we have mentioned earlier. So without proper timing of cash flows and the protection of idle cash, a business could not survive. That's why it's very important to have a strict internal control and appropriate and accurate management of receipts or policies. So here, the companies can protect their assets by number one, there should be segregation of employee duties. Meaning to say, different employee will take care of the collection. Different employee will take care of the handling of cash, recording, and depositing of it, so that there will be or the mishandling of cash will be avoided if there is only one person handling those uh, duties. Okay. Second is to assign specific duties to each employee, as mentioned, related also to number one. Next, rotating the employee job assignments, because in this case, they will have to adjust and they will not be overly familiarized with uh, the duties that they handled before, especially for cash. You can assign them in the different um, department, okay, so they can have an experience of a different nature of job as well. Fourth is using mechanical devices, okay, like electronic form of device to ensure the proper recording, collection, and so on of your cash receipts. So when a merchandising company sells, okay, in terms of merchandising company, so here, when they sell their inventory, they will receive cash. Either they will receive cash immediately, or they can have it on credit and collect it over a week or on a later period. So in this case, the clerk receives the cash immediately. If that is sales on cash, they will record it and place it in a cash register. So just this is the typical um, function or process in a merchandising type of business. So the presence of the customer as the sale is rung up usually ensures that the cashier enters the correct amount. So that's why or the customer should ask for a receipt. So there is the data um, that corresponds to the correct amount that they extended or paid for. So at the end of each day, the store will or should reconcile the cash in each cash register with the register tape or computer printout to double check if it is correct. Okay. So payments received later are almost always in the form of checks. So the stores prepared the record for these checks received as soon as they receive it. And some merchandising companies also have some customers that they send their payments directly to the bank instead of the company itself. So this is a more reliable form of collection and recording because the payment and the deposit was made directly by the client. So although the business vary their specific procedures for controlling cash receipts, they usually observe the same principles. So here, they prepare a record of all the cash receipts as soon as the cash is received. Most thefts of cash occur before it is recorded, of course, because they can um, get some of the cash before they will record. So it's already net of what they have taken. Okay. So once the record is made, it is easier to trace the theft. So next, deposit of all cash receipts should be intact as soon as feasible, preferably on the day that they are received, every day, okay, before the bank um, banking hours is over. So as possible, you should deposit it within the day, intact. Or if it's not possible, the next business day, immediately. Because undeposited cash is more susceptible to misappropriation and theft. So another is the arrange duties so that the employee who handles cash receipts does not record the receipts in the accounting records. So they have to make sure that it's correct. Okay, so this control feature will allow the general principle of segregation of duties given earlier in the discussion. Okay, so they should also arrange duties so that The employees who receives the cash will not disburse the cash in an inappropriate manner. So this control measure is possible in all, but this is normally feasible for smallest companies. Okay, so those are for the management of cash receipts.